All right, we are live on the Coach Eli Television Network, YouTube, Facebook, and D Live. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here on this wonderful, amazing Saturday evening. If you're here in the U.S. with me, I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area, the beautiful, glorious, amazing, and very warm San Francisco Bay Area. It's been very warm out here lately. Hopefully the weather's been well, or actually good, in your area. I can't even speak. Pardon me. But yeah, it's a beautiful Saturday night, and regardless of where you're at, in some places it's the next day, welcome to the show. We have a great show for you here tonight, stemming off of the show I did last night, which got over 300 views. I was quite blown away by that. That show had the most views I've had on a stream in quite some time. And I did share some great information that can help you with your, dating woes, if you're a man or a woman. I mean, it was more primarily catered to men, but women can learn from it as well. And the same thing tonight. I have a great show tonight that's going to be discussing, women that display too much resistance are eliminating themselves. I'll get more into that in just a little bit. I'm going to share with you how the show is going to go. But before we get to that, let me first of all make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out. And it absolutely has gone out. And let me check out the back end of YouTube and ensure that that is rolling smoothly. And it absolutely is. And let me also check out Facebook. And Facebook is running well on the back end. We've got 3 people on Facebook already. Got 15 people on YouTube. And let's check out D Live. The back end of D Live seems to be rolling well. And let me check out the front end because we have to make sure it's running smoothly. Let's see here. Facebook. There we go. We're at the top of the news feed. Smoothly. Let's see here. Okay, we're good on Facebook, and let's check out D Live front end. Here we go. Let's see here. Okay, we're good on Facebook, and let's check out D Live. D Live is rolling well. All right, before we get to the topic here tonight, let me check out the chat real quick. Facebook is clear for now, and so is D Live. If you make a comment on Facebook or D Live, please stick around. I will be periodically checking in on Facebook and D Live and responding to your questions, comments, etc. On Facebook, we have Harold's random videos that popped in before the show started. He says, "Hey, hello, Harold. How you doing, brother? How you been? Thank you so much for being here." Beastmaster says, "How's it going, Coach? Sorry, man. My summer has been crazy. Heading to my cousin's. Hope to catch you tonight. It'd be nice to have you here, bro, but that's okay. I get it. Come and go as you wish." Beastmaster with the $2 super sticker to start things off. He says, "Hey, you, Beastmaster, you're going to get me to launch my channel donations tag." Let's start off the channel donations courtesy of Beastmaster's $2 super sticker. Whoops. To $2. Thank you so much for that, Beastmaster. And if you'd like to make a donation to support this channel and my brand and to keep this vision moving forward here where I continue to help people get a better grip on their lives, you can make a donation in one of many ways. You can, if you're on YouTube, the easiest way to do it is to hit that super chat at the bottom. You can send a super chat or super sticker in any amount. And the greater the amount, the longer that your super sticker or super chat is highlighted at the top of the chat there. You can also send a PayPal or Cash App. Cash App is preferred, but if you prefer, PayPal, that's available as well. Nightbot will be sharing the links to my PayPal and my Cash App every 7 minutes or so. Nightbot just did at the bottom of the chat there on the YouTube side of things. If you're on Facebook, you can see it in the description section. It's also in the description section of YouTube. If you're on D Live, just come on over to YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli, and you'll easily get all of those links there. PayPal.me/Coach Eli. That's PayPal.me/Coach Eli is the PayPal, or Cash App. I'm at $the real Coach Eli, $the real Coach Eli, with caps at the beginning of each word with no spaces. So it's $, capital THE, capital REAL, capital COACH, capital ELI. Donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. So once again, thank you so much for your $2 super sticker, Beastmaster. Beastmaster furthermore says, hello to my queen, just in case I miss you later. He says, or he puts the light blue heart. That's very nice of you, with the big smiley face at the end there, Beastmaster. Thank you so much. Queen Helen Case is in the house. The queen is here. You're good. And she furthermore says, hello, Beastmaster. Queen, thank you so much for that. I appreciate your kind words and your kind sentiments. Appreciate it. And that's it. We are all caught up. All right. Let's get right to it, because I have a lot to go over tonight, and I was on for, almost 3 hours last night. And tonight I just want to be on for a couple of hours so I can, catch up on some rest. The topic of today's stream is women that display too much resistance are eliminating themselves. One more time. Women that display too much resistance are eliminating themselves. What inspired me to do this topic tonight? Well, I was actually going to take the day off. I was actually going to go hiking with a woman I've been talking with on this new dating app that I've been using, which I'm still not going to reveal here tonight. I'm going to make people wonder a little bit. I'll probably do a show next week letting you know what this new dating app is that I'm using. But as of this moment, I have over 50 connections and active conversations going back and forth with women. And I've gotten probably about maybe 10 numbers or so. And we've been kind of texting back and forth. And I kind of shared yesterday how I'm managing this and how I also understand the overwhelming amount of messages that women get, even more so than I'm getting, right? If I have 50 active conversations going as a guy, and it's 10 times easier for women to get attention just for putting out a picture, right? Because of the thirsty beta males out there, women probably have, I'd say, anywhere from 100 to 500 active conversations going. Now, folks, here's the thing. If you have more than 2 or 3 or 4 conversations going at once, that can be overwhelming within itself, especially if these women want to talk on the phone, which takes time. And it's just, it's like a job. It really is. Like, dating nowadays is like a job. And even though some ladies, when you talk with them and ask them questions, say, what is this, an interview? What is this, 20 questions? Yeah, it's a damn interview. It is an interview because people want to make sure you're the right fit for them and you're not playing games before they invest too much time in you and any one particular person, right? I also mentioned on that stream yesterday that when you're talking with more people like this, you're not meeting all these people. You're not going out meeting all these people and having one night stands. That's not me. That's not why I do it. I do it because this gives you the abundance mindset, meaning that, if you're talking with 1 or 2 women and you have 48 others in the queue, you're not going to worry about what you say. You're going to be yourself, because even if the 2 women you're talking with that you really like above the rest don't respond to you or ghost you or eliminate you, you've got 48 other women waiting to talk with you, right? So when you put yourself in that position with the abundance mindset, that's going to give you that's going to allow you to come off more natural, more real. You're not going to fear, losing contact with the 1 or 2 women that you really want to talk with. You're going to act yourself because, again, you don't care if, they stop talking with you because you have others waiting to talk with you, right? So what really inspired me to do this stream was I was supposed to go on a date with this woman and go hiking today. But it didn't happen. At the last minute, it didn't happen. And I'm going to share that story here regarding why it didn't happen. It has to do with the topic. Women that display too much resistance are eliminating themselves. Like us guys don't even have to eliminate you. You're eliminating yourselves because you're coming into these interactions with men with this resistance mindset already, with this guarded mindset, right? So if a man's being himself and trying to get to know you and says some things that would not bother the average, everyday, healthy woman, and it bothers you, then we can't get to know you. And in essence, you're showing us your true colors of not being ready, of having resistance, maybe fearing, that we're trying to move things too fast or trying to rush you into the sack or something like that, right? And when a guy like myself that's experienced in dating, right, picks this up about a woman, when they're really resistant, if they're too resistant and they can't get over it, then it's not even worth it to meet them or to continue chatting with them because it's like spinning your wheels in the mud. You're not going to get anywhere, right? The issue is not you as the guy. The issue is the woman is just not ready, right? Maybe she's seeking validation. Maybe she wants to take things extremely slow, and not allow the natural flow of progression to happen, etc., right? So I'm going to share a story regarding what happened with this woman and one or two more examples of, this situation regarding women displaying too much resistance and how it affects them and how they're limiting themselves. When I get through these stories, I'm going to take a break. And then after that, I'm going to go over a Reddit posting. I have one Reddit posting to go over tonight that's perfect for this topic. And I'm going to read you the title right now. It's called, Why Are Young Adult Women More Closed Off with Strangers Than Young Girls or Middle-Aged Women? Why are young adult women more closed off with strangers than young girls or middle-aged women? And when the poster is saying strangers, like when you're putting yourself out in the dating world, in the online dating world, or you meet somebody in person that you're looking to date, they're technically considered a stranger because you don't know them as well, right? But if you want to connect with somebody and you want to truly get to know someone and allow them to get to know you, you have to be open to it and you can't be closed off. Okay, same thing works for women. If you're trying to get to know a guy that's closed off and doesn't allow you to get to know him, what can you do with that, right? You can't work with that, right? And when the blog poster, not the blog poster, the Reddit poster mentions, why are young adult women more closed off with strangers than young girls or middle-aged women? What he's saying is this, is that like women under 20, they're open, they take chances, they go and they date, they're not guarded or as guarded, right? But then once a woman hits her early 20s and she's experienced a lot, right? And she doesn't want to go through what she went through in her, before her 20s, she becomes more guarded and closed off and becomes more picky and starts to look at every single little word each guy says. And if it remotely comes close to saying something that a guy she's gone out with in the past that said a similar thing, it's going to trigger her to throw up her guard and throw up resistance, right? And so what he's talking about here is women, once they hit 20, throughout their 20s, and I'd say throughout at least their mid-30s, maybe all the way until their late 30s, they're more closed off than women under 20 or women 40 or older. And I personally have noticed that myself. Now, does that mean there aren't women in their 40s and 50s that are still closed off like this. Yes. But as most women, get past their 40s or get past their 30s into their 40s and, they've been trying to find a good guy for the last 20 years and they've been so guarded that the good guys have passed along, they're more prone to let their guard down once they hit their 40s and into their 50s and, give guys a chance again. So that's what this is talking about. And there are 149 comments here. Obviously, I'm not going to get through all of them, but I'm going to try to get through the first 30 or 40 of them between one or two segments. I may go into a third segment if necessary into the show because there are a lot of interesting responses from men and from women. And this is from the subreddit, True Ask Reddit. It's a great, great posting. So stick around for that. All right. Nothing happening on Facebook or D Live, and YouTube is clear. All right. So let's get right to it. So I connected with this woman. A few days back, we started talking. And this woman is 42 years old, 5'6". She's probably about 130, 135 pounds. She's cute, kind of nerdy looking because she is a nerd. But she's cute and she communicated really well. And we had a phone conversation last night. Okay. This woman lives literally, I'd say less than 10 minutes away from where I'm at. So she was very local, right? So it's going to be real easy to go on a hike with her today. Now, I noticed in her profile that she went to Stanford University and Yale University, right? But she's also very outdoorsy. But she's also single, never been married, and has no kids. And in her profile, she says wants children, vaccinated, doesn't smoke, doesn't do any drugs, and has a social drink. Good evening to you, Coach Eli. This is Joe Shipley. Good evening, Joe. How you doing, bro? Welcome to the show. Great to see you here, man. So we got on the phone, and actually we were texting for a little while. We were texting first. Let me get to that before we get to the phone conversation. Okay? So let's see. Well, actually, I think we were talking on the app first, and then we just went to texting to arrange the call. Let me get back to that. She hasn't blocked me on the app, so that's not a bad thing. Who knows, right? So here's how our conversation started. So she invited me to start the chat. And I said, hey, ma'am, I'm substituting ma'am with her name. It is nice to connect with you here. How's your day going and what are you seeking on this app? I may have shared part of this yesterday, but there's more to it. She's like, hi, Eli. Day has been good. Busy running errands. As far as what I'm looking for, I'm looking to connect with people and hoping to find a long-term relationship, but not in a hurry to get there. You? I'm seeking the same, ma'am. Would you be open to a phone call and going from there? If you'd like to send me your number, I'll text you to arrange our call. I hope you're having a great Friday, and I look forward to your response. She's like, sure, phone call sounds good. Gives me her number and says, I hope you are having a nice Friday as well. And I wrote, you are so nice, ma'am. It is refreshing to be speaking with someone like you. She was nice. When are you free to talk, and what time do you usually go to sleep? I'll text you in a bit after I hear back from you. Also, what city are you in? I did read this yesterday, but there's more to it. She's like, my weekend is wide open. She goes, my weekend is wide open. I usually go to bed around 10 or 10:30. I'm in, and she's in a neighboring city very close by to me. I go, do you like hiking? She's like, I do. I wrote back, since you love hiking as much as I do, and you live so close by, and you say you're wide open this weekend, LOL. You may have just landed yourself a hiking date this weekend. I'll text you in 45 minutes or so, and we'll talk a bit before you go to bed. How does that sound? She goes, sounds good, right? So we ended up talking by phone. And it was a pretty good conversation. We communicated well. She definitely is kind of nerdy. And there's one thing that stood out to me about the conversation now after what happened. She basically, I asked her, I said, so how have your experiences been? You seem like a great catch. You've got your stuff together. Like, I'm just curious to know. Because, look, I mean, she's a reasonably attractive woman. She's got 2 degrees from 2 of the top schools in the country. Okay. She's got it all. Got the house, got the car, got everything, right? She's got everything going for her, but she's single, never been married, and has no kids. That's a red flag to me for women, for any woman that has her stuff together, looks good, makes good money, has degrees, and is in her 40s, single, never been married, has no kids, and still wants kids. This woman is 42, so she's still, in her early 40s, where it's still possible for her to have kids if she gets on the ball, right? But it's still a red flag to me. So I wanted to know, I asked her tactfully, how have your experiences been? What's been going on? She goes, I think guys are intimidated by me. Intimidated by you? What do you think intimidates these guys? Well, I went to Stanford. I have 2 degrees. I went to Stanford and I went to Yale. I said, you having degrees from 2 of the most prestigious schools or colleges, universities in the country is scaring these guys away? She's like, yeah, I think that's what it is. And I'm like, that's kind of a stupid reason. Are you expecting to meet the perfect guy? I know you don't want a dumb guy, but are you expecting to meet a guy that has an education at your exact level? She's like, no, I just want to meet a good guy that's, reasonably smart and takes care of himself. I'm like, that's fair. That's fair. But you're saying that your degrees scare off most of these guys, right? And while I was on the phone with her, because it was a cool conversation, I was thinking, okay, that could be a possibility. But after what I experienced the next day, which is today, the day I was supposed to go on a hike with her, that's not the reason. I'm going to share with you guys the real reason, which has to do with this topic here. Okay? Queen says, hello, Joe. And Joe says, hi, Queen. All right. So, here's what happened today. Now, actually, what happened last night was I told her, I said, okay, let's go hiking, tomorrow. I told her last night. Now, I have some things to do in the morning. I'll get back to you around the 11 o'clock hour, maybe closer to noon or so. And then, we'll make some plans. I said, we're probably not going to go hiking until about 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. But I'll get back to you around 11 o'clock or 12 or so. And we'll schedule. You said you're wide open, right? You're wide open. It doesn't matter when we go, as long as we go before it's dark, right? She said, yeah, right? Remember, this woman said her schedule's wide open. That means she's sitting around doing nothing. And this woman works in a field where she has summers off, right? So she's bored as hell, right? Looking for something to do. Right? You have to take that into consideration as well, right? So I texted her at 11:59 a.m. That's the earliest I could do it. I told her I'll text you around the 11 o'clock hour, maybe 12 or so, somewhere around there. I wrote, good morning. I look forward to seeing you this afternoon. It will be around 3 or 4 p.m. I'm in progress of preparing for our date, and I'll let you know more info within a few hours. I am excited, and hopefully you are too, right? 5 minutes later, 12:04 p.m. earlier today. Okay, sounds good, right? I communicated, right? I told her 3 or 4 p.m., right? And I'll get back to her within a few hours, right? That means probably around 2 o'clock or so, right? Or maybe a little after that, right? At 1:59 p.m., this woman must have been sitting by her phone and for exactly 2 hours, hoping I respond sooner. She writes back to me before I got back to her. I'm going to need more details soon, at least a location. Huh? I was just about to send her the details. 1 minute later, right? I was figuring it out. I was looking for a hike. I wanted to make some more coffee, etc., right? Okay. I wrote back 1 minute later, you're about to get them, LOL. And below that, I wrote, do you have somewhere else to be later? Let me know and I will send you the info. Like, why in the world would she be sending me a text saying, I'm going to need more details soon, at least a location, if she's not in any hurry and has nothing else to do? She told me she's wide open, right? You got to remember what women say, guys. Don't be stupid. Don't be naive. Don't get fazed by the lower region. Don't be fazed by, the lower region. Let's put it that way and not get demonetized, okay? She gets back to me a minute later, and this was the first sign of resistance. Remember, the topic of the stream is women that display too much resistance are eliminating themselves. Will my answer change the info, ? She writes. Now, this is a smart woman, very well educated, but her lack of social skills here in her dating life and having some kind of unresolved issue that I figured she has now, we'll get more into that in a second, is making her respond that way. Ma'am, you said you're wide open. And now you're kind of trying to push me into getting a location. When I was just about to respond to you, you lost your patience, ma'am. You see, here's the thing, like I keep saying, women expect men to be completely patient with them, but you ladies have no freaking patience for anything. Come on. And as a strong guy, I understand it. I'm still cool about it. But let's continue here, okay? She goes, well, once again, will my answer change the info? I wrote back and said, well, I need to know how much time you have so I know if we can get this hike done in time. Well, I need to know how much time you have so I know if we can get this hike done in time. She wrote back a few minutes later, I don't have plans later, but I'm also not sure I want to go on a long hike with someone I just met. That's not what I said, ma'am. You're assuming that. Doesn't matter if we do a 2 or 3 mile hike, okay? It doesn't matter. If I get out there at 4 o'clock, we're only going to be able to really do a 2 or 3 or 4 mile or 5 mile hike. We're not going to do a 15 or 20 mile hike, ma'am. She's like, I suppose I should have mentioned that earlier, but I expected you to share plans this morning. Listen to this. You see, you ladies say to us guys that, you should have no expectations. Well, it works the same on the flip side, right? I thought things were supposed to be equal, right? But we can't expect anything as guys, but you, ma'am, expected me to share plans this morning when I told you I would contact you around the 11 o'clock hour or around 12 noon, and we would go from there. And at that point, I told you, and I even told you yesterday that we probably wouldn't be going hiking until about 3 or 4. I communicated this as clearly as possible, as clear as night and day. I suppose I should have mentioned that earlier, but I expected you to share plans this morning. So here's what I wrote to her, right? And I was like this. She threw me 2 signs of resistance, right? When a woman, here's my advice to you guys out there, and even ladies on the flip side too, but more so for guys. Guys are dealing with this more than women are, right? If a woman gives you a little resistance one time when you're getting to know her, try to turn it around, try to brush it out, try to make her feel comfortable, right? But if she throws you a second, if she displays a second instance of resistance, in that same conversation like this woman just did, that's when you know that's who she is. She has some unresolved issues that are not going to allow her to be herself. She's going to be very guarded, and she won't allow the natural flow of progression to allow things to progress on a date if it was meant to be. What if it was meant for us to make out on the hiking trail? Because you're guarded about something else. If I try to make a move on you, if it feels right, you're going to be guarded, not because of me, but because of what you've experienced in the past. Kind of like that Reddit article or that Reddit post that I'll be getting to later on in this show. So here's what I wrote back to her after I received 2 displays of resistance from her after having a great conversation the night before. This is literally hours before we were supposed to meet, right? I wrote, I understand that. I was thinking of us doing the San Francisco Bay Trail at this one location near her area. I'm not going to mention it, obviously. I've got trolls and haters that want to stalk me and do all those things. So I'm just going to say that. I wrote, it's 7.5 miles and heavily trafficked. We could have done that. It's more like a walk along the water, right? We could have done 7.5 miles, I'd say 20-minute miles in less than 3 hours, right? So get there at 4, you're done by 7. The sun doesn't go down till about 8:30, 8:45, plenty of time, right? So I wrote it 7.5 miles and heavily trafficked. Also, the whole thing doesn't need to be done. Respectfully speaking, ma'am, I communicated with you I was available this afternoon and would get back to you sometime after 11 a.m. to make the plans. I had some things to do this morning, and they were important. Hey, I'm not in any hurry, and we can always do this another time. I'd rather meet you when you feel more comfortable. Look, I can tell she's not feeling comfortable. I'm trying to be a cool guy about it, right? I'm not upset, but I'm making her aware that, ma'am, I communicated with you, and you lost your patience with me. You screwed up, ma'am, and now you're trying to flip it and blame it on me. Maybe we should talk by phone a few more times over the week and possibly meet next weekend. I wasn't going to do that. I was just saying that to be nice. I'm trying to basically let her down easy. So that way, if she gets triggered, that's on her, right? I'm being cool with her, right? Okay. Why am I cool with her? Because I've got 40 plus other women waiting in the queue. I'm not going to put up this crap when another woman won't give it to me, won't give me this crap, right? Okay. Ma'am, I'm honestly not trying to turn you down, and I wasn't. I think you're a good woman. I think she is. She just has some unresolved issues emotionally. Okay? Trust issues, right? I think you're a good woman. You just need more time to warm up to someone. I called her on the truth. It's just who you are. I'm being honest, and I'm understanding towards her wants and needs, right? I even pulled the line that the women use, right? That the women use. Let's not rush this and ruin it. We can talk another time or two by phone when you are free and go from there. How does this sound to you? Listen to her quick 3-line or 2-line response, okay? You think this woman is really mad at me, or is she mad at herself? Does she realize she screwed up, right? She wrote, I'm sorry for the miscommunication. Ma'am, you're a Stanford and Yale graduate. You're a highly intelligent woman that lost your patience because you know why? Because this is the same thing that's happened to you with multiple guys because of you throwing resistance like you did towards me, not once but twice. You're limiting yourself, man. The only person you should be mad at or frustrated with is yourself. She goes, I'm sorry for the miscommunication, but I don't think this is going to work out. Good luck in your search, ! I wrote back and I said, agreed and take care. Now, if anyone wants to comment in the chat, like you, Queen, or anyone, do you think this woman realized that she lost her patience and maybe because she's dealt with the same situation in the past, the same thing keeps happening to her, right? And instead of her thinking that these guys are intimidated by her because of her degrees. No, this has nothing to do with her degrees. Maybe some guys are intimidated by her degrees, but I don't think that's what the problem is. The problem is this woman starts to throw up resistance, and because she doesn't have a whole lot of options like most women do, and she's sitting at home on summer break, not working, she's really desperately trying to get out there, right? And I'm not looking to go out with a woman that's desperately looking to get out there. I'm looking to go out with a woman that's excited to want to see me and is not going to throw resistance. Because when a woman throws any sign of resistance, right, maybe a little bit is okay, but if a woman, well, every woman will probably throw a little bit of resistance, right, just to kind of test you, right? But if they can't overcome that initial resistance and they give you more resistance once you try to make them feel comfortable, right, then you got to withdraw as a guy. And practically, it means these women are eliminating themselves. So that's what happened with this woman today, right? Now, would most guys have gone the date with her? Sure, because most guys are thirsty. Most guys don't have other options like I do, right? Most guys would just overlook, her reaction, her behavior, just because she's cute, and they're going to try to get a piece of ass, which they wouldn't, right? I'm glad that she said, I don't think it's going to work, right? I basically responded to her in a way where I was trying to trigger that response from her, or at least see if she was willing to say, I'm sorry, you're right. I'd love to see you. Maybe I'm being a little bit too cautious. You're a good guy, right? Queen says she will boot men to the curb because she doesn't really want them. No, it's not that she doesn't want men. It's just that she wants it done her way. She wants it done her way. Okay? And she lacks social skills because she is a very educated woman. And she's very intelligent when it comes to, she's very book smart, but she's very life inexperienced, right? For a 42-year-old woman to be as life inexperienced as her, it's a red flag. So until she figures that out about herself, she's going to be very, very lonely. Lonely, lonely, lonely. Now, let me see here. There was another woman that I was talking with, and I want to share this. I wonder if this woman, I think this woman did remove me. She's the only one. The other ones that I stopped talking to have not removed me. Let me see if I took those screenshots. Okay, I did not take those screenshots. Let me just check one more thing, because I do have the text messages, and I'm still gonna share this story because this is another issue regarding resistance and using excuses to try to take control of the situation. It's just very, very unattractive. Okay, I think she removed me. Anyway, this woman was like a 46 or 47-year-old, very attractive woman. She was about 5'7", 5'8", about say 130, 135 pounds. Very good shape, very good looking. Has her stuff together, and we were communicating through this new dating app. So I asked her, for her number, and then I'll text her to arrange a call for us to talk. So I sent her a text, and I said, hey, ma'am, she had a very unique spelling to her name. Love the spelling of your name, by the way. Very unique. It's Eli from the name of the dating app. I'm not going to mention it yet. How's your day going? She gets back to me 20 minutes later. Hi, I'm doing well. I'm out running errands. Saturdays are busy for me. how are you? Is that the way you want to start off a conversation with a guy you're getting to know? The very first thing you want to say to him is Saturdays are busy for me, right? The last thing any guy wants to hear from a woman they want to get to know is that they're busy in any capacity. We know you're busy. We don't need to hear it. We don't want you to emphasize the fact that you're busy. We don't care if you're running errands. We don't care about that. All we care about is your day going well or not? We don't need to know exactly what you're doing, right? How's your day going? My day's going quite well. How are you? But you felt like telling me you're out running errands. Saturdays are busy for me. How are you? Okay, I'm doing great, I wrote. And thanks for asking. And I wrote back, because when I get a response like that, I'm going to make them realize that what they said is just too much. Guys don't want to hear that. I wrote, weekends are my time to relax, go hiking, out of town, etc. Maybe we can hang out sometime and break the monotony together, LOL. When are you free for a phone call, ? Most nights after 8 typically work for me, right? I look at a woman saying that she's out running errands, and especially saying that Saturdays are busy for her. That's a sign of resistance right there, right? That's her stating that I'm a busy woman. My time is very valuable, and I'm going to just let you know that off the bat because I don't want you to mess with me, right? That's how I interpreted that, right? She wrote, the best time for phone calls, I wrote, most nights after 8 typically work for me. She goes, the best time for phone calls for me is when I'm hiking. Oh, really? So when you go hiking and you're out there by yourself or maybe a friend or something, and you're away from home or wherever else you are, that's the only time that's the best time for you, right? That's a red flag to me right there. That's more resistance right there, right? That's two instances that display resistance here, right? I'm already done, but I kept going for content here because I'm trying to share with you folks how to read these women and and this woman's hot. But it doesn't matter if they're hot. If it's not going to work and they're going to waste your time, you got to let them go, right? She's like, after 8 does not work for me. I am free tomorrow at 3 p.m. if that works. So she's like, after 8 doesn't work for me. I wrote, most nights after 8 typically work for me. She's saying after 8 does not work for me. Does that mean you're never available after 8? So I wrote back and I said, are you never available to talk after 8 p.m.? Sounds like you have a lot on your plate. Are you more flexible with your time if you're in a relationship with someone? I didn't think she would respond to this, right? Most women would say, this dude's just asking too many questions. Well, I'm calling you out. That's why you're still single. That's why you're a hot woman in your mid-40s and you're single. She wrote back and said, I do a lot of work in the evenings. So as my schedule stands now, I am not available after 8 p.m. So you work 7 days a week. You're not even available 1 or 2 days a week that you get off. So you're booked after 8 p.m. Like, forget it. I can't contact you, period. She's like, of course, if I met the right person and was in a relationship, I would make adjustments. Well, ma'am, I'm testing you to see if you'd be willing to make those adjustments now. Because if you don't make those adjustments now, show me that now or other guys now, no one's going to want to be with you. Ma'am, you don't sit there and make adjustments for a guy to come into your life, okay? You continue doing what you're doing. You be yourself, okay? You fit him into your schedule. You don't adjust your schedule. You fit him in, right? You make time for him. This is pathetic. She's like, are you only available after 8 p.m.? And then she goes, have you heard of this app? It is a great way to communicate if you are open to it. And this is an app, I guess it's called Marco Polo Stay in Touch. I'm thinking to myself, what is this, the digital version of the Black Book? How many guys are in this book here? This is the third display of resistance within this woman. This is pathetic, right? Hiking this lady sounds nuts. So this is what I wrote back to her. Listen, this is what you got to do, guys. And the hotter they are, and you turn them down, and you just don't put up with their crap, the more it gets to them, right? Looks like a modern day dating black book, comma, LOL, I wrote back. I go, I am not interested in downloading a special app just to communicate with someone or be another number in their black book. How many beta males do you guys think are in this chick's like Marco Polo Stay in Touch app from the iTunes store, the App Store? Furthermore, I wrote, I'm actually quite flexible with my schedule. I just prefer to talk to someone I'm getting to know in the evening when I'm relaxed and they are relaxed. Anytime after 8 is a relaxing time. I want to talk to a woman at night when it's dark and we're relaxed and we can just shoot the shit. It's more, it'll give you more of a romantic feel. These women want to talk with you in broad daylight while they're at work or while they're on a hiking trail, right? They don't want to go out of their way for you to even have a phone call. That's part of my test. If a woman's not willing to talk with me after 8 o'clock before she goes to bed, while she's at home with nothing else going on and not multitasking to fit me in, then you get no shot with me. You got to look at it that way, guys. Okay? I furthermore wrote, typically people relax at the end of the day. Like I'm speaking to a 2-year-old here, folks. This woman's a mid-40s woman here. I'm speaking to her like a 2-year-old. I wrote, look, ma'am, I think you are a good woman. And I think she is. She's typical like many other women. She's working, she's independent, she's got a lot of things going on, and she wants to do things her way. She wants the guy to take her shit into consideration, but she's not willing to take yours into consideration as well, right? Big turnoff, right? So the very hot woman, I wrote this. Look, ma'am, I think you are a good woman, but I'm sensing we may not be a good fit. And then I wrote, because I wanted to make her aware, ma'am, I'm acknowledging you're hot. I take good care of myself too. I think I'm a decent looking guy too. I'm confident. I'm not going to put up with this. I wrote, we both have lots of options, but I am just seeking one. It seems like you want to leave your options open for a while, and I'm just not into that kind of thing. I'm going to respectfully let you go and wish you the best of luck on your dating journey. So she wrote one last thing, and that was it. I am not looking for options. I have only dated one person in 5 years. I am a very monogamous and one-person woman. I just want to clarify this and make this very clear. Ma'am, you tried to get me to download an app to keep in touch with you instead of just texting and calling on the phone. That's your black book, ma'am. You're full of shit. You're a liar. You got called out. You're a hot woman and you're not used to being rejected for doing stupid things. I rejected you, ma'am. Not because I wanted to, because you eliminated yourself with the amount of resistance you put up and your BS. However, I respect your wishes and wish you the best in your dating search. Well, me too, ma'am. I wish you the best of luck. Have a great night. Take care. That's that. Queen says, LA Mayor, are you laughing at Sloopy's hiking? This lady sounds nuts. Yeah. Oh, Jesus, man. Jesus. All right, folks. Those are a couple of stories. I have one more story I want to go over with a woman that I've been talking to. I kind of mentioned this yesterday, and this is a woman that has a high level of interest. And this is a woman that more than likely something good will come out of it. I don't know, but we'll see. So what I'll do is go over that communication through my text messages to show you what a good, healthy woman behaves like, so you can identify that, right? And then I'm going to get into this Reddit posting. And then I'm going to get into this Reddit posting in a little bit, or shortly afterwards, which is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. I had to take care of something real quick. All right. So we have one person on Facebook. Hey, Deidre, is that you, the same Deidre? How you do? Maybe she's in a relationship. LOL. Did your last name change? Well, no disrespect. This is the same Deidre, right? Oh, no, it's a different Deidre. Oh, okay. No, I thought you were another Deidre I know too. How you doing? It's been a while. Welcome to the show. Feel free to ask any questions. I'm going to take a break, play some music, and then we're going to get right back to it. Eli, you know I got the chat. Of course, Queen. Queen, my apologies. Queen. We'll leave that to you. All right, let me cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. And, let me play some of the other songs I haven't played in a while. Let me see here. All right, that's one. Let's see. Let me see. That's two. Let me see here. Let me see here. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for probably like an 8 to 10 minute break here, get some more coffee, use the little boys' room, and take care of a few other things. And like I said, when we return, I'm going to go over that text conversation regarding a woman that's very healthy. Now, no woman is perfect. I'm not perfect. I mean, this woman everybody has issues, but even when a woman has issues, I look for her to be transparent. And this woman has been nothing but transparent to me. And I'll share with you folks why this one has some good potential and it's worth investing more time into it. So, and then we're going to get into that Reddit posting. Why are young adult women more closed off with strangers than young girls or middle-aged women? That's going to be very, very interesting. So stick around. We'll be right back. Yeah, we're back. Oh, yeah. Very peaceful, very peaceful. Thank you for the compliments on the background, folks. We'll get to the chat just a second here. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, you don't hear songs that have a lot of piano in them nowadays. I'll tell you that. The piano is a great instrument. Great instrument. If you like the piano, put a 1 in the chat. Queen, you like the piano? Sloopy, anyone else? Yeah, just so relaxing, right? Yeah. Yes, the song is called The Messenger by Silent Partner from the YouTube audio library. Thank you, YouTube, for creating a decent audio library, regardless of what anyone else says. It's way better than getting copyright claims and dealing with all that stuff and keeping your channel clean. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. All right, let's get right back to it. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live here on YouTube, but also simulcasting live on Facebook and even simulcasting live on D Live. And if you want to join me over on the YouTube side of things, whether you're on Facebook or D Live, just go to youtube.com/LifeCoachEli, youtube.com/LifeCoachEli. YouTube has the absolute best quality of my content and my streams, and you'll get more than just streams on YouTube that you won't get anywhere else. You'll get pre-recorded videos. You can become a channel member and get members-only content. There's just so much more. So if you're on D Live or Facebook and you want everything to do with Coach Eli. You want to participate more? We have 19 people here right now on YouTube. Then just come over to my YouTube channel. It's called Coach Eli, Elias Melas. You can search for it at the top of the search bar, or you can just go to youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. I've shared that link over on the Facebook side of things to make it easier for you folks over there. All right, tonight we are discussing women that display too much resistance are eliminating themselves. Listen to this very carefully one more time, guys and gals, right? Women that display too much resistance are eliminating themselves. Ladies, on one hand, you're coming out and saying, there aren't any good men left out there. Where have all the good men gone? We're here. We were about to meet you today, ma'am. But you gave us, or gave me, a little too much resistance to the point of where I felt, or we feel, you're not being yourself, right? And when you're in that type of state, you're not the type of woman that's in a healthy state or healthy enough state for a relationship to the point of where you would allow the natural flow of progression to let things progress what was meant to be, such as holding hands or maybe making out or something, or showing some kind of affection. If I took this woman out today, if I went on this date with this woman to go on a hike, and we were having a great conversation, and it felt right, for me to try to give her a kiss or a hug or something, this is the type of woman that would think, oh, it's happening too fast, and I've done this before, and I slept with the guy too soon, and then he didn't see me again. So I'm not going to allow myself or allow this guy to let what feels natural actually happen, right? And guys, if you're as intuitive as I am, and you recognize these signs of resistance while you're talking to a woman, you won't even waste your time meeting her. And the same thing goes for ladies on the flip side. I mean, there are some guys like this, but this more so happens to men by women. That's why I primarily cater more on my content to men. But women, you can learn as well. And I do help both men and women here. So, let's just get back to this here. Let me go and read a conversation. I actually read the first part of it yesterday, but there was more. And this one's going really well. This is the way you want things to be. This is the type of woman that is worth investing some time in. But I still, at this point, I haven't met any of these women, right? At this point, until I meet this woman here and there's some affection happening, I'm not going to cut anything else off, because that allows me to have, once again, like I've been saying, the abundance mindset. When you have the abundance mindset, you go into things not worried if you screw up or say the wrong thing or if it doesn't work out. When you're that relaxed and you are indifferent to the outcome, right? And you're not expecting anything, things just happen naturally. And you feel that way because, again, like I said, if it doesn't work with this one woman, you've got 40 or 50 waiting in the queue on the app. Maybe 10 or 15 of them, you have their phone number, you're texting back and forth. And for me, I found a way, like I said, I use Google Voice. So I can, open up Google Voice on my laptop while I'm multitasking, running my business and setting up my YouTube streams and videos. And I can send them quick text replies throughout the day. And it's a way that I can manage my time and not waste time, right? So when you put yourself in that abundant mindset, in that abundant state, okay, you're going to have a better chance of making it work, even with a woman that's showing a high level of interest like this one. Now, let me read this conversation to you, folks. Sloopy says, 1, I love it. Queen says, 1. Yes, that sunset looks peaceful, says Sloopy. Before that, Queen said, I like the sunset in the background. Thank you, Queen. That's from pixabay.com. They have a ton of, it's an unpaid endorsement. They have a ton of images and backgrounds you can use free of charge, free for commercial usage, and they're free from copyright. They're royalty free. So, yeah, it's great. I think what I'm going to do, the camera I use now to do my live streams, the $1,000 Sony a6400, is also a digital camera that does like 25 megapixel still shots. I think the next time I go on a hiking trail, I'm going to take some pictures and not only use them for my streams. Let me know if you folks would like to see that, but also upload them to Pixabay and let other people use them. I don't want to make money off those pictures. I want to contribute to the community that actually has helped me. You see, if people allow me to use their stuff for free, I'm willing to give some of my stuff away for free too. It's give and take, folks. Be good to those that are good to you. Don't just take and not give, right? All right, so this woman and I were talking on the app. I got her number. I reached out to her. I said, "Hi, ma'am. It's Eli from Hinge. It's nice to connect with you off the app. You seem like a very nice and outgoing lady." She's like, "Hi, Eli. You seem sweet." American Dream with the $10 super chat. My support coach, 100. Dream. I got to give you a big round of applause, American Dream. Wow, bro. Thank you so much for that. Mike, American Dream, bro, you come out of nowhere, bro. How you been, man? How are things going for you? Thank you again for the $10 super chat. My support coach, 100. Hey, these last few streams, Dream, have been very, very helpful if you're looking to get into the dating world. And next week, this coming week after the weekend, I'm gonna expose to you guys what app I'm using and suggest you guys to use it too. So stick around for that. But Mike, American Dream, brother, let me tell you something. You know what, Mike? I got to take care of you, brother. Let me check something out here real quick, Mike. Because you just made my night. Not because of the $10 super chat. I appreciate that, bro. But because you're here. And I believe you're a channel member on that channel. And you are. Dude, you're live right now. Well, dude, next time you come into my chat, Mike. Well, stick around, Mike. Let me do this. Because you are here, but you're also live at the same time, bro. And I don't care if you broadcast part of my stream out. I give you my full blessing on that, bro. You have my permission. Mike, I'm gonna welcome you. I'm gonna welcome you back, American Dream, to the moderator crew. Can you please type something in the chat, brother? One more time. Type something so I can make sure that your wrench works. It's really nice to see you back, bro. And Mike, I hope you're doing whatever you can to lay off of the drama. I really would like to come and be a part of some of your streams in the near future, if you're okay with that. Again, I just don't want to deal with any drama. I completely removed all of it. But yeah, brother. He's like, love you, man. My brother always. So type one more thing, Dream, so I can make sure your damn wrench works. All right? So I get back to my story here, brother. Oh, Jesus, man. All right. So I'm not going to wait. I'll just check in on it every so often. Hi, are you coming back, LOL? Yes, I am. Deidre over there on Facebook. I've been back. I will take a break every 45 minutes or an hour for about 5 to 10 minutes. I got to use the little boys' room every now and then. So thank you for being around. There's no one on Facebook. I think she left. Anyway, no problem. So she gets back to me and says, "Hi, Eli, you seem sweet." I wrote back to her and I said, this is a repeat of the first part that I read yesterday. "I am a sweet guy, but I am a real man too, LOL. Just so you know, I am not a beta male or an arrogant pompous ass. I am well balanced in the middle and want something real with someone ready to take the chance and just go for it. Someone with no restrictions or limited beliefs. Someone open-minded and romantic. There it is. American Dream. I'm here multitasking. There you go, dude. You went from green to blue, but you still have the channel member icon. Thank you for continuing to be a channel member, Dream, and welcome back to the mod crew, brother. I trust you, bro. Thanks again, man. Let's reconnect soon, bro, and talk and make something great happen. Someone open-minded and romantic. Someone that loves hiking as much as I do. I go hiking every weekend, almost every weekend, and would love a partner to get out of town with and explore other areas and hike those areas while we are out there. Also go to nice dinners, etc. Does this appeal to you at all? She's like, yes. Did you see me in nature on my profile? I said, yes, I do see it and I love it. Let me ask you some questions to see how well we mesh. We can text when possible. I'm not going to read all that. I asked her some questions about intimacy and, if, her culture doesn't allow her to be intimate before marriage. Because like I've been mentioning to many people out here, or to all of you out here, I've encountered like 5 women over the last 3 months that were reborn Christians, reborn virgins, and they want to wait until marriage to be intimate. And that just doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for most other guys either. So I just wanted to be upfront about it. And she said, I couldn't agree more. Intimacy is everything. I'm like, wow. She's like, I am from Pakistan, but raised in California for over 38 years. She's like, it will be a few before I can respond again. I said, it will be a few before I can respond again, but you must be feeling an instant click here. Correct me if I'm wrong. She's like, why do you say that? I'm actually on vacation in LA visiting my family. I go, because I feel your energy and I like it. When are you coming back home? She's like, this coming Thursday. I go, we should meet when you get back. Do you have time to talk by phone while you're out of town? She's like, yes, for sure. I'll text you when I have some time. She's like, are you a life coach? Yes, I am. So I'm not going to go through all of this. I'm gonna basically get to the conversation today because her and I were texting quite a bit back and forth throughout the night last night after I went off the air with my live stream. So let's see here. So I'm skipping through most of what I wrote yesterday, right? So last night, she sent me a text. I go, I'm busy at the moment because I was doing my stream. She goes, it's all right. I'm out for dinner with family now at 5:52 p.m. last night. So I didn't get back to her after that. I kind of just let it ride. This morning at 8:14 a.m., she reached out to me on her own. That's exactly what you want, guys. You want the women. I did say the story, Queen, but there's more to it. I was recapping what was said yesterday to lead into today because some people may not go back and watch the other stream. Now this is all new, Queen. She reached out to me first this morning. That's what you want. She said, good morning. Sloopy says, Coach, don't you get nervous talking to all these ladies? No, dude, I'm 47, almost 48 years old, bro. When I was a teenager or early 20s, a little bit. But, dude, when you do this for a while, listen, man, one of the most important things that's attractive to a woman is confidence, right? If you're not fazed by the woman's looks or by the woman in general and not intimidated by her, that's attractive to her. Nervous guys, don't go far with women. And women that give nervous guys a chance are there to take advantage of you because that's more of a beta type of quality. So no, I don't get nervous. I mean, I'm not going to lie. On occasion, when I've met a really, really super hot woman in person, yeah, it has flustered me a little bit. That can happen to any guy, but it just wasn't meant to be with her, right? I just do my very best to not let it get to me. But no, I don't get nervous really anymore. I think I've gotten nervous one time a little bit over the last 10 years with one woman out of the tons I've gone on first dates with. I wrote back to her About an hour later, good morning to you as well. Sexy, I called her by her first name. I'll just say sexy lady. You thought of me first thing in the morning? How sweet of you. LOL. She's like, I did think of you first thing this morning. And she sends me a cartoon image of her that she made with one of those programs, right? Blowing me a big fat kiss. I can't ask for anything more. I mean, so I wrote back to her, you just say some things sometimes when you know you can't say anything wrong to test a woman to see how much she likes you. I wrote to her, I go, do you want to make out? ? You are the most interesting chick I've come across. I wasn't trying to put her on a pedestal. I was trying to see what she was going to, how she was going to react to that. She's like, how am I interesting? We haven't even met. That was just a morning kiss. I wrote back because I think you want all of my attention. And if you continue to be as amazing as you seem to be, you'll get it. LOL. We're both very attracted to each other based on what we've talked about so far. And your pictures as a bonus are very sexy to me. She's like, so when are you going to be free to chat on the phone? I wrote back to her and I said, how much do you want to talk with me on a scale of 1 to 10, LOL? She put 20. Oh, wow, 20, man. Can I call you now? Ma'am, it's may I call you now. That's okay. Just for a few minutes. I wrote, give me 5 to 10 minutes and I will call you. I have a few minutes as well. Okay. Then I put ready. And then her and I talked. When we talked on the phone, let me tell you what this woman said. We started talking for 5 minutes. She goes, wow, you have a really nice deep voice. I mean, your voice does not match your picture. She goes, in your pictures, you look like a really nice guy. I said, well, ma'am, I am a really nice guy. I'm just not a big freaking sissy. I can tell that. And I said, no, you got to have balls, man. Listen, women don't want you to kiss up to them, bro. They want you to have balls. They want to know that you can live with or without them, right? They want to know that you're being yourself, bro. They don't want a fake dude. So I kept saying to her, I'm like, so you think I'm a really nice guy, or look like a really nice guy? I said, you know what I told her? I said, well, looks could be deceiving, ma'am. Called her by her name, right? She starts laughing, right? Yeah, you just seem like an interesting person. It's really nice to hear your voice. Like you sound like a real man. That's really attractive to me. Like I've been looking for a real man and I can't find any. All these guys nowadays are just, I don't know what to think of them. And we didn't have a whole lot of time to talk. We're going to talk later tonight. I said, when we talk later tonight, we'll get more into it. I'm going to share with you what I do and this and that. I actually really like this woman. She's very communicative. She's Pakistani, but she's been here from a very young age, so she doesn't really have that much of an accent at all. She doesn't have any accent. But she was raised with traditional morals, values, and ethics. She's a nurse, too. And it was interesting because she had told me, I didn't read all the messages that I read yesterday as a recap tonight before I got to the current day situation with her. But she had said, I need a life coach. And I had told her that I'm not looking to life coach any woman that I'm, dating or going to be dating, but I'm willing to support her in any way possible, right? But when we got further into the conversation on the phone, I ended up telling her, I said, well, you know what? You told me yesterday that you need a life coach. I need a nurse. So I'll tell you what, you could be my nurse and I'll be your life coach. I said, I could definitely use a nurse and a lot of that nurturing love and all that. Listen, dude, Sloopy and other guys out there, you got to be lighthearted and you got to have fun. You got to make them laugh and you got to show these women you have balls to take risks and you're not afraid of them rejecting you. Because if you're too compliant and say everything perfect and too nice and you're not just being cool and laid back, women are so intuitive, they pick up on that and then they'll just friend zone you. It's over, right? So after we got off the phone, I had asked her for a couple of pictures of her wearing jeans because she had some really beautiful pictures of her. Well, Paul Simmons, Queen, let Paul stay. Pakistani hot coach, you should introduce her to your love language of liquor standing. Believe it or not, we talked about that. I'll tell you, this woman has been single for 2 years, and I've been single for 2.5 years. She hasn't been with anyone. She's been working and doing other things. She's looking for a good guy. She doesn't like to sleep around. She doesn't like one-night stands. She likes like the emotional bond like I do. But anyway, so I'd asked for some pictures outside of the pictures she had on the app because they were all more formal. And she sent me some pictures of her in jeans and stuff. And I mean, she's a beautiful woman. She's a little thick, not overly thick. I mean, I think this woman is, let me see here again. Oh man, Paul, you're one of those guys from the past. That's cool, bro. I know you were here the other night. Let me see here. Where is she? Let me see here. Let's see. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There you are. Yeah, this woman is 44 years old. She's 5'1". She's probably about 120 to 125 pounds, maybe 130. She's a little thick, but not really. She's a cute woman. She looks good. And I like women with a little bit of meat on them. She carries it well. She's got a beautiful face. Got that beautiful Pakistani face. And she's got like big brown eyes that just kill. So it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, when we did talk on the phone, Paul Simmons, she was saying that she's like, like I'm a good woman. I want to find a good guy that can fuck me good. She told me that. She told me that on the phone. After all this great communication. And I was like, I had to ask her. I said, let me ask you this. You don't talk like this with every guy you talk with. She goes, no, only you. Well, guys, I'm not saying I believe that or don't believe that, but the proof will be in the pudding when we meet. We'll see how things move forward. At the pace they're moving forward, it should move forward pretty quickly and, things should happen. But I actually believe this woman because she's making a lot of effort for me while she's on vacation visiting her family in Southern California. So that's that. So yes, Paul Simmons. And I did even tell her about the TT. We're gonna, the turbo, you know what, right? You know what I'm talking about, Paul. That's right. You're Blue Ball Brandon. I forgot. I think you're Blue Ball Brandon. I think you're Asystoli's friend, Specialized Cycling Club. So I wrote back to her and I said, you are a good woman and have a great personality, but you are super sexy as well. This is good shit between us, girl. And she wrote, us girls, question mark. I said, I mean between you and me. You took me out of context. Between us. LOL. She's like, that's me. I wrote, I'm excited to meet you. This feels right, don't you think? So then I asked her about, kids. And she goes, it's a long story, but I don't want kids. I go, that's okay. I'm good without kids since we've been so open. Did you get yourself fixed or what? I mean, I'm at this point, she's talked about effing me and all this and that. Why not? If we're getting that personal, let's see how far we can take this. But see, you can't do this with every woman, guys. You just got to feel them out individually. All right? She's like, no, she's not fixed. I said, so you can still get pregnant, but don't want kids. She's like, well, I can't have kids. So then I went back and I said, hysterectomy, question mark? I go, I'm a very smart man. You aren't dealing with a dumb shit here, LOL. She goes, nope. I go, IUD, LOL. She goes, I'll explain it to you, won't hide anything. I go, I'm not worried about you hiding anything. I'm just having fun getting to know you. She's like, I know, dear. I like your energy. I go, I like yours too. And we just talked about our last relationships. We were texting back and forth. And it was just a good conversation. Then she sent me a video of her. She sent me a current video of her. And earlier when we were chatting, she goes, we could video chat if you want. I said, we can video chat. I typically don't video chat, but with this woman, I would probably do it because I actually respect her. I actually believe she really likes me. But I told her, I said, we just talk by phone. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried about you catfishing me, and I'm not going to catfish you. If I show up looking different, nothing's going to happen, right? That's when we were on the phone, we were talking, right? But then she sends me a short video clip of her, with her family, but just with her there. Anyway. So she asked me, have you been married? Never been married, no kids. I go, you? And this makes sense. Listen to this, guys. Been married, divorced 4 years ago, no kids. This woman's dateable. If this woman had never been married and had no kids, I can guarantee you she would be just like every other woman in their 40s that's single, never been married, and have no kids. That would be closed off, right? This woman is a chance taker. She took a chance to get married. Women that don't take the chance to get married or have kids or anything like that by the time they hit 40, if they haven't had any of that, that means there's something about them that guys keep seeing in them that make the guys either leave or get the guys to do certain things to force the woman to leave them, right? This woman is perfectly dateable. So that's a positive situation there, guys. That's when a woman is showing you a high level of interest. And when you're talking to a woman that likes you, that apparently likes you that much, you could put a little more effort into it. Don't put an extreme amount of effort into it, but put some effort into it and take risks and say things to her that you wouldn't say to other women. And if she's coming out and she's attracted to you, if she's saying, I need a good guy that's going to be able to F me, right? Then it's like, okay, well, you don't talk like that to just any guy. No, just you. Like, I feel comfortable with you. I feel we're on the same page. I just feel your energy. Sometimes you come across a guy, you just feel it. I'm like, I feel the same way about you and women, like that. And it's rare to find a woman like that. So anyway, all right, we are at 1 hour and 32 minutes. Let's switch over to the browser screen and get to this Reddit posting. I'm going to go through 5 or 10 of these comments in response to the topic of the poster, and then probably take another break and go through some more. So it's only 11:12 p.m. Eastern, 8:12 p.m. Pacific. All right. This is from the subreddit True Ask Reddit. Why are young adult women more closed off with strangers than young girls or middle-aged women? One more time. Great question. Why are young adult women more closed off with strangers than young girls or middle-aged women? And what I'm going to repeat here is what I said at the beginning of the show. Young adult women are women like between the ages of 20 and probably, anywhere in the early to mid 30s. And some of these women behave this way and they're closed off until their late 30s. So I'm going to say women in their 20s and 30s, at least mid 30s, some, if not most, throughout their 30s until they hit 40, right? So you have this gap between age 20 and 39. Where those are the ages where you're dealing with the most closed off women. And I can agree with this because when I deal with women between the ages of 20 and 39 to date, it is much more difficult to get through to them. They're much more guarded. They test you more. It's just more difficult to deal with them. Why? Because when they were younger, they gave guys more chances, and then, guys are guys, right? And sometimes guys just want to hook up, and these women take chances, and their chances fail, so then they become guarded, right? And it takes them throughout their entire 20s and almost throughout their entire 30s to get over that, and then they get to their 40s, and most of them will start giving guys a chance again, but some of them will continue that behavior into their 40s and 50s or forever. I've seen that. But it does start to taper off a little bit, it starts to taper off a lot when women get into their 40s, right? So that's what this topic is about. Something a friend pointed out to me, and I found it interesting as well. I'm 21 and I've been hit on by 16-year-old girls, as well as having them ask if they can borrow my phone. Well, dude, you should not be getting with 16-year-old girls. That's you're an adult and they're not. Now, I know in some states the age of consent is around there. Even so, dude, I would not get with anyone under the age of 18, period. The only time I was also approached and called cute by a girl was when I was in 7th grade 8 years ago. Well, yeah, you're not hearing a lot of women in their 20s and 30s use that kind of language. A lot of these women have been indoctrinated into this, feminist agenda, where, hey, we want you ladies to be more career focused and relationship focused. Okay, you're strong women. You don't need a man for anything. You're independent, right? So women are not being as feminine or submissive to be able to call you cute, right? They'll notice that you're attractive, but they just won't tell you, right? Because if a woman says that you're cute, in essence, she's inviting you, to try to get with her, right? Middle-aged women have also randomly started talking to me. I find, however, that women my age don't. I don't feel entitled to their attention, but I find it interesting why younger girls and middle-aged women are much more willing to converse with strangers than women in their 20s. I just said it. It's because before their 20s, they're taking chances, and many of those chances fail, and they feel used and taken advantage of, so then they become guarded. Then they set the bar so high when they get in their 20s and throughout their 20s and 30s, that bar is so high that most guys can't reach that, right? They become entitled is what it is, okay? And the system's helping them become entitled, right? The modern day women's lib system, let's call it that. Could it be a fear of men mistaking something like asking for directions or as sexual attraction? Well, listen, anytime a man talks to a cute woman, more than likely he's going to be attracted to her. He's interested in her. But that doesn't mean that man is going to try to hit on her. Women can't just assume that every man talks to them because they're trying to hit on them. But some of these women think that. A fear of safety? Yeah, because of what they've been through in the past when they were more open to taking chances and risks to be with guys. I imagine since most men are attracted to 20-year-old women. Well, who isn't attracted to a 20-year-old woman? Physically, I think they're beautiful and cute, but their personality and their experience is far less than mine. I would not be able to relate to them. I can say that they're hot. And, they might be a great lover, but even then, there would be no emotional bond with a woman that young because I can't relate to her, coming from a different era. Yes, it is 100% a safety, learn as you go type of thing. When I was in college, I was the friendliest little B word. We're going to call you a woman. We're not going to say the B word here. Said hi to everyone, smiled at each stranger. I passed. I'm 25 now and have had one too many experiences where that innocent kindness led to stalking, harassment, etc. So I don't smile at strangers anymore. Kind of sad. Well, listen, when I encounter women like this that are closed off, right? Or they have resistance because of what's happened to them in the past. That's why I did this topic tonight. Women that display too much resistance are eliminating themselves, right? Okay? So you're basically saying because of what happened in the past to you, now you automatically assume that every guy is like that, so you just close yourself off completely. During your most prime years, right? You're 25, you're young, you're fertile, you're looking your best. This is your time to lock that guy down. But partially because of your past experiences, you're very guarded, and because you're going to college, getting a degree, and more career focused and family focused, you put that on the back burner. Then what happens? You hit 35, 37, and your biological clock is ticking. Now you're starting to give guys a chance. Then you hit your early 40s. Like I remember talking to a woman years ago, 42 years old. She was beautiful, right? And she was saying she wants to meet with someone that can try to get her pregnant right away because her biological clock is expiring. And I talked with her, right? And I could have probably been that guy to attempt that, but I ended up not meeting her. I ended up not meeting her because I'm like, it's cool that she's open to that and she was a cool woman, but it just seemed kind of rushed, right? It just didn't feel natural, right? So yeah, these women, because of their past, before they turn 20, now getting in their 20s, they're guarded, and they are, because of one of many reasons, including this one, they are letting their best years pass them by. And by the time they figure it out, they wonder why guys are no longer paying attention to them, right? You hit the nail on the head. I'm a 23-year-old woman in grad school and love having interesting conversations with people. One too many times, this has led to unwanted following, harassment, etc. Frankly, it just isn't worth it to smile to strangers. There's a quote out there that says something like, men are worried that women might reject them. Women are worried that men might kill them. I don't believe this is ridiculous. And it is true in my experience. It has happened. It's rare, but it does happen. See, guys, look what's happening here, right? But this is not all the guy's fault. Just because one guy stalks you and harasses you, right? And that's not a good thing. It doesn't mean that every other guy is going to stalk and harass you. And then when, let's say I come around and I'm the right guy, and I would have been a great guy to take care of you and have a family with, and we could take care of each other, you just passed up the guy that would have been the guy of your dreams because of what happened to you in the past. That's what's happening to women. They're letting guys, pass, right? They're passing up good guys because of this and the other reason I mentioned. They're going to college, which is fine. They're getting a degree, which is fine. They're getting a job and their career focus, which is fine. But then they can't balance out their work and personal life on top of, not trusting guys, even give them a chance. Let's see here. She is ridiculous, says Queen Helen Casey. There is crazy women too. Of course there are. No, I'm not saying these women are lying. They're not lying. They have experienced this. Everyone has. But you can't sit there and let one or two situations brainwash you to believe that every man is like that. But at the same time, guys and gals, women are emotional beings and they respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. And women, because of their emotions, can become much more easily traumatized. And that's what's happened to these women. They're traumatized for decades. And by the time they snap out of it, they're no longer fertile. They're no longer desirable because they're older. I'm not saying they don't look good when they get older. Some of them do. But they're less fertile or not fertile at all. So their sexual market value goes down to guys that want to have a family, right? That's what they're not getting. They're not getting that. It's the truth. I'm not going to read that one. Yes, thank you. That was the quote I was thinking of. I've seen a couple of women mention stalking, following. Can you describe the cases of men following you? This is a woman writing this. How did it start? How long? For a few minutes? over one day or several days or weeks? Were they socially awkward guys, aggressive guys, or overly confident guys? You know who does the stalking most of the time, in my opinion? It's the socially awkward guys. It's not even the aggressive guys or the confident. Us aggressive guys, and I'm not even aggressive. I'm confident, right? But aggressive and confident guys, we take our chance up front. We're like, this is who we are. If you either like us, love us, or leave us. And if they don't want to be with us, we walk away because we know we have the abundant mindset and we'll go to somewhere else. The socially awkward guys that can't get a woman, they're the ones that'll get attached to one even if the woman doesn't respond to liking them. So it's typically the socially awkward guys. Genuinely interested, I'm a guy. Oh, you're a guy, okay. Thought you were a woman. And I've never experienced it, and none of my friends are the type to do it. It's just so foreign to me. I've seen it mentioned in passing a number of times on Reddit, so it must happen. This is what I think is happening. There are a lot of socially awkward guys that would not hurt these women. And they do stalk these women, but these guys in their head are not doing it to stalk them. They're doing it because they want to just see the woman. Like maybe they sit outside her house and look at her through her window, and it just, makes the guy feel like they're together. And maybe the guy, because he's so socially awkward, doesn't realize that he's stalking her, right? So a lot of these women need to understand that for the most part, socially awkward guys are not a threat, are not a life-threatening type of threat. They're just awkward. And if you see them stalking you, just tell them to stop, tell them to stop. And then after you tell them to stop, if they keep doing it and you see them, call the police, have them arrested, and move on with your life. And don't close yourself off to other guys because of this. I'm going to read one more before I go on my next break. Phew, a bit of an emotionally charged question, but here we go. The first time when I was 12, at this age, I hadn't yet gotten a period, and my favorite activity was riding my bike around the neighborhood and playing capture the flag with friends. Okay, interesting so far. You know what, Queen? On the YouTube side of things, it's nice. The YouTube live streaming server is working flawlessly on a Saturday night. It's great. One day, a man in the car asked me for directions to a nearby shop. Something felt off, but I told him where to go and started to bike away, except he didn't make a turn at the corner like I'd advised, but started to slowly follow me. Block after block, he drove slowly beside me as I biked. I was starting to get tired and scared. I ended up cutting through a trail in the woods to get away. I couldn't stop checking behind myself for weeks after, and I had a weird feeling of shame. Yeah, that's a weird guy. I mean, some guys are weird like that. That's I'm not going to say the word get demonetized. That's a guy that starts with the P word, right? He's the P word, right? The P-vert. Since then, there have been too many cat calls and creepy men on sidewalks to really count, but I consider myself lucky. I've never been assaulted or raped like many friends have. Some guys have a fetish of looking 12. That's way too young. That's anything under 18 is way too young, but even at 12, that's younger than 17 or 16, right? I mean, for guys to be looking at 12-year-old girls, there's something wrong with them. But some guys will just look and not act upon it. Technically, are they breaking any laws looking? No, but it's just a weird thing. It's a sick thing. And they're not breaking the law. Unless they're actually following you or they come up to you or they touch you or something, they're not breaking the law. But it is creepy, right? And for any man to get a thrill off of something like that, that's just wrong within itself. Now, unless they do something, they're not breaking the law. But it's still not right, in my opinion. This is more of an ethical type of issue than a law-breaking issue. Now, if he were to come up to you and touch you, abduct you, and do other things, then we're talking about breaking the law. When I walk sometimes with my husband, I feel safe. I never get harassed when I'm with him or a group with both men and women in it. When I walk to the corner shop by myself or with other women, I am always on guard and frequently harassed. That's because you had that experience, ma'am, and you've let it traumatize you. Now, does that mean that can't happen to any woman at any time? Anything can happen to anyone at any time, but you can't live your life always wondering if someone's going to walk up behind you and do something. You just got to live your life and hope for the best. You can't live your life that way. It'll drive you crazy. Let's see. Not all the time, but enough that you're cognizant that it can happen. That's why we carry keys in our fists and leave in groups and watch our drinks and don't smile at a stranger because he could take it the wrong way, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We have learned to always be on guard. That's a big problem. That's a big problem because let's say, ma'am, you and your husband get divorced, right? You try to put yourself back on the dating field. Do you not think this is not going to affect every man you're with? You're going to be guarded with every man that you meet, and it's never going to go anywhere. You got to get over that. It's not a healthy thing. It's not a healthy thing to be holding on to this because of that one experience where you thought the guy was following you, but he never came up to you. He never touched you. He never did anything, right? I have not noticed a defining feature in these men who harass. There is no defining feature. So they're either that type of person or not. After a grad school event last week, I was followed for several blocks by a bookish-looking guy. He waited till we were in a deserted alley at twilight to approach me. Sometimes it's the bro types or thuggish guys or any other type. You know, nowadays, guys are going to approach women just to try to get with them, whether they're married or not, wherever, regardless of where they see the woman. But the defining feature is that it's always men. I know it isn't every dude. I'm married to an awesome one, but it is enough that is a problem. Okay, I get it. There are guys out there that come off creepy. And guys, I do not suggest being a creeper. You want to get a woman, put yourself out there and do it the right way. And eventually you'll find one that likes you. But you got to keep trying. And it may take a while. This woman I'm talking with now, this may work. This is probably one of the best opportunities I've had in a while. Okay, but it took a while to get here and it still may not work. And if it doesn't work, it may take me another 6 months to find a good one, right? Glad you and your friends aren't a part of the problem, that you're lucky enough that such a concept is foreign to you. I guarantee it isn't to the woman in your life. Cheers to asking questions and being open to others' experiences. I wish more people thought to do so. Now it is time for a drink and to finish this term paper. So you're in college. You're probably in your mid-20s now, or maybe late 20s, depending on when you started college, and you're married. All right. Awesome. Folks, I'm going to step away and take another break, and then I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back for, whoa. Excuse me here. I just screwed that up. Give me a second here. There we go. Like I said, I'm going to take a quick break, and when I get back, I'm going to continue going over this probably for another half hour to 45 minutes or so, maybe a half an hour, and read a few more of these. So you guys see why women are the way they are today, especially women between the ages of 20 and 39, around there. Queen says, shocking, isn't it? Sloopy says she has Me Too written all over her. Well, maybe. Here's the thing. Me Too or not, bro, the bottom line is this. There are a lot of creepy guys out there that do these things to women one time, and then these women get traumatized and assume every guy is like that to a certain extent, or they feel like when they're walking down the street, they always have to look behind their back, right? They have to look behind them, right? And don't get me wrong, there are times when I've been walking in kind of a sketchy area and I'm looking behind me because I don't want to, you never know, right? but you can't let it affect you from moving forward in life. Anyway, we are at 1 hour and 54 minutes. I'm going to queue up some royalty-free YouTube music and take one more break here. Let me see. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Where are the songs I want to play? Where are they? Okay. Just need a couple more. All right, music's all queued up. I'm going to step away for a quick break, and when we return, we're going to get right back to that interesting Reddit posting. So stick around. We'll be right. Whoa, full screen. Let's try that again. There we go. Stick around. We'll be right back. You know what, folks? Sometimes life isn't fair. And sometimes life is going to deal you lemons instead of oranges, and you just have to be strong, learn how to deal with it, and move forward. Life goes on, folks. Beautiful song. Beautiful song for the moment. I'm going to take this moment and just take this moment. That's all I'm going to say. Amen. All right. All right. You know, it's interesting how certain types of music can even bring out the emotions in strong men. Understand, guys, just because some of us are really strong men, I wish all of us would be strong men, doesn't mean that us strong men don't have emotions, don't have feelings, wants, and needs. It's how we go about it. But there are certain times when things happen in life, and shedding a little emotion, or even a little more than a little emotion, is okay. And I want you to know that's okay. And if you're struggling to try to understand that, reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you with that. All right. Yeah. Oh, yes. All right. Welcome back to the third and final segment of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/LifeCoachEli, and also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. If you are on Facebook and D Live, like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to start mentioning this more often. The majority of my content is on YouTube and will always be on YouTube. That is my primary space. So if you want more than just these in-studio live streams, sometimes I do mobile streams that are exclusive to YouTube. And all my pre-recorded content is exclusive to YouTube. Then come over to YouTube. I'm sure even if you're on Facebook or D Live, you're also on YouTube. You know, you more than likely have the YouTube app. Go to the search bar and type in Coach Eli, Elias Melas, or youtube.com/LifeCoachEli, and subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and you'll get everything. And you'll also have the most engagement. The majority of people that view my content are on YouTube. And also on YouTube, you're going to get the highest quality 1080p at 60 frames per second. All right. So, with that being said, tonight we've been discussing women that display too much resistance are eliminating themselves. One more time. Women that display too much resistance are eliminating themselves. You missed the first parts of the show, the first two parts, go back and check out the replay. I shared some personal experiences. And then during the second part of the show, I started reading a Reddit posting that goes into depth regarding why women are displaying a lot of resistance in many cases when it has nothing to do with the current person they're with. For example, many women that date the modern man today or date today in the modern world, they've been traumatized by these other experiences like I shared during the second part of the show when I started reading the Reddit posting, because some women have been stalked and they've been harassed and they've had some socially awkward guys, socially awkward guys, you know, follow them and you know, make them feel all creeped out. And women get traumatized by that if they allow themselves to, right? And then it affects them from living a normal life and having great encounters with guys like myself. And guys, if you encounter a woman like this, I've shared how you can identify that. Go back to the first part of the show. You'll learn that in one of my stories. You have to withdraw from this because it's never going to work out. And if it does work out, you're going to be dealing with that woman's unresolved trauma, and it's not your job to do that. Your job is to go out and seek and find a healthy woman to be with, just like she wants to seek and find a healthy man, right? Okay? And your job as a man is to not fix the woman. Okay? Your job as a man is to not fix the woman in the same ways that her job is to not fix you. So, anyway, let's get right back to it and go back to the browser source and continue reading another 5 or 10 of these postings before we go off the air. We are at 2 hours and 11 minutes. We're going to go another maybe 20 or 30 minutes, probably 30 minutes or so, and then start to wrap this up. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat. Let me check out Facebook. Nothing happening on Facebook right now. And D Live is clear as well. All right. All of the above. I'm serious. I'm an average woman, but worked a number of customer-facing jobs where you are paid to be nice to people and interacting with hundreds of people a day. You get introduced to a fair number of socially inept people purely by chance. These are the socially awkward people. I'm going to have to do a show on socially awkward people. And are they dangerous? Are socially awkward people actually dangerous? Or are they just awkward and shy and insecure and weak and desperate, right? I'll say off the bat right now, most of them are not dangerous. They're just pathetic. But some of them can be dangerous, right? So I understand it. So I'm going to end up doing a show regarding that. Some are overly confident. Some are needy. Most of them look normal. A lot of them will be normal initially, right? Thinking that being normal is going to get the girl when they don't realize that you're not going to get every girl you encounter, even if you're a good-looking guy and you do things the right way. Even us guys that have our shit together and have confidence and know how to get women, right? We're not going to get every girl. We understand that these socially awkward people don't get that. They think that if they're just nice and look good and approach a woman, that a woman's going to automatically say yes. That's not the way it works, right? These guys need help. I've had men follow me home when I got off public transport, follow me around shopping centers, saying lewd things to me, street harassment, whistling and comments, follow me in their cars, repeatedly come into my workplace, and make romantic advances after knowing I was uninterested. That's pretty sad. That's a weak guy. That's a beta male. That's worse than a beta male. Follow me leaving bars and try to convince me to go home with them, corner me in dark car parks to talk to them, yell abuse and threaten me for simply saying thank you, but I have a boyfriend. Well, a lot of these guys nowadays come from broken households. They never got enough nurturing love from their mother and father. So they're trying to make up for that by coming and approaching women like you. They're desperate for that, nurturing love that they didn't get during their childhood, right? But see, you women can pick up on that, and that's not what attracts you to men. And these guys don't get that. That is not what attracts women to men. That repels women, right? I have been groped by strange men from the age of about 8. Wow. Sorry to hear about that, ma'am. Assaulted numerous times, raped 3 times, had men harass me by a text for months after first dates because I didn't want a second date. I've been insulted, called names, told I was an S word. I'm not going to say that, for not having sex with them. For not doing it, you were called the S word? It's typically the other way around. Had random customer from my work track me down on Facebook and send me pages and pages of text dealing with his masturbation fantasies about me. After telling him I had a boyfriend, a customer came behind my desk at work and physically picked me up so I couldn't get away. Friends who I had made clear were just friends trying to force me to kiss them when I was drunk. Friends who I had made clear were just friends to try to remove my clothing when I was drunk high. I've had incidents with lesbians, bisexual women too, but 99% of it is men. Well, when 97% of all men in this world are beta males and they don't have a clue on how to be a real man, I'm not surprised. And it's these guys that are ruining it for the good guys like myself that are good, strong, real men. Because I believe you're a good woman, man, but I believe you're a good woman, ma'am. Did I say man? Ma'am, right? But you've been traumatized, right? So even though I firmly believe you're a good woman, let's say you were single and we were talking, I'd pick up on all this and I wouldn't give you a chance because I would be dealing with all of your unresolved issues and it would affect our relationship even though it has nothing to do with me, right? So this is what I say when I say that these beta males or these socially awkward guys, when they do these things to decent women, it traumatizes them. And by the time they get to good guys like me, we can pick up on this trauma and we don't want to deal with these women because they're closed off. It's just sad. This comment really helped. I've always thought there was something wrong with me because I've had multiple gropings, stalkings, harassments, rapes, assaults, and I stopped reporting after the cops didn't follow through on the first one I reported. What have I done wrong? How did I invite this, etc.? But maybe it's not me. Maybe this is part of how life is for women, and we don't talk about it enough for us to realize that. The problem is not you ladies in this aspect. The problem is these guys are not being raised right. They come from broken households. They haven't had enough nurturing love from their mother. They weren't taught how to be a man by their father, and they're trying to fend for themselves. And there's no support in the modern day system to help men. It's all about helping women. Women have tons of support nowadays, but men have zero support, right? You ladies have support, right? How many battered shelters are there for women in the U.S.? Like 2,000? How many battered shelters are there for men? 2? Think about it. The support is lopsided, right? If we want this to turn around, we've got to start supporting men and women equally. And that's what I do here on my channel. That's why I don't only cater my content to men. Sometimes I primarily cater it to them, but women can always learn. But my channel is for men and for women, right? Men are not being supported nowadays. And we need to find better ways to get the system to better support men. That's the bottom line. Let me check out the chat here real quick. Let me see. Sloopy says, hey, Coach, I have to go. I'm going on a week-long hiking trip tomorrow and fishing. I don't know if I'll get signal with my phone. If not, I'll see you when I get back next week. Thank you. Hey, have a great one, Sloopy. Thanks for stopping by and sharing your feedback. Have a great night. Have fun hiking. That's great. I was supposed to go hiking today, but, it is what it is. Hey, I may have a new hiking partner soon if this all pans out with this woman, bro. But thank you, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. All right. Let's get back to this. Of course it isn't your fault. People love to tell you that it is because it is more comfortable to believe good things happen to good people and bad things to bad. Just see world bias. But that's not even remotely true. Okay. Maybe you're simply just a nice and approachable person and make everybody feel comfortable around you. What's wrong with that? Why can't everybody be like that? Everyone should be nice and approachable. That doesn't mean that if someone approaches you and asks you, are you single? If you say no, or you're not interested, they should just let it go. It's not about, people approaching you. It's how they react or don't react based on whether you want to be approached by them further or not. A lot of guys nowadays simply won't take no for an answer because they never learned discipline. They never learned maturity. They never learned how to be a man because they came from a broken household, right? So whenever somebody says no to these guys, they get triggered because they never learned, they never got that nurturing love, and they were told no so many times when they were younger, and they weren't raised right that now they don't take no for an answer, right? these guys have like abandonment issues too sometimes when their parents, weren't there for them, right? It's all of that. 99% of people probably feel happy they met you and walk away smiling and never bother you again. That's true. That is true. About 99% of the people will just walk away after approaching you. I'm not interested, whatever. Okay, cool. Have a good day. Nice to meet you. Bye-bye, right? But it's that 1% or less than 1% or even one instance, 1 out of 1,000 guys that does something wrong can traumatize the woman, right? It only takes one. But if you're around enough human beings, say if you work hospitality or retail, then the chances of you meeting a large number of antisocial people is guaranteed. Right, it's the antisocial people that we need to help. The socially awkward people. Those are the people that are causing the problems because they were not raised right. They didn't learn social skills. It stems back to their childhood based on how their parents raised them or if their parents were even in the picture. Don't lose your goodness because of a minority of jackasses that have always existed and will always exist. The world needs its good humans. Good points. Reading your and the other replies here really brings out a hate for my fellow men. I wouldn't go that far, ma'am. That's pretty, that's not nice to say. But I can understand why you're reacting that way. And you are a lady. You respond to everything emotionally based on how you're feeling in the present moment. So I get that. I mean, I'll be completely honest. I've said misogynistic things when with friends. I've looked after women. But I'll never not have the decency and respect when actually interacting with women. And I really cannot understand how one cannot respect a no. I agree with you on that. Both men and women need to understand that no is no. Okay? Now, there are some cases, where if you're dating someone and your woman says no, and she's just trying to be playful with you, that's a different story, right? But for the most part, no is no. Nobody has a right to anybody but themselves. If someone doesn't want you, then you accept that. It might hurt and you might be sad, but it will pass and is definitely no reason, nor is it worth it to invade someone's personal freedom. Here's the issue nowadays. When you have a lot of guys, the majority of guys are beta males. They're acting more feminized than masculine, right? So what's the number one feminine quality? Okay, acting emotional, responding to everything emotionally based on how you're feeling in the present moment. When you have 97% of the men that are acting as emotional or more emotional than women, that's not normal. And that's why when they approach women and get rejected, they erupt because they're reacting emotionally rather than thinking about it logically. It didn't work with this one. I'll just try again with another one. And one day the right one will come along, right? They don't understand that. And that's why I'm here to try to help these people and teach them these things, right? Believe me when I say that even though you think none of your friends are the type to do it, at least one of them probably is, and you're just not privy to the horrible things they do in private. Hey, we all have done things, whether we're good people or not so good people. We've all done things a time or two that we're not proud of. Everyone is capable of making mistakes. My husband only has a handful of close friends, all who I thought were genuinely nice and cool and funny people, but a couple of them, both married, have sexually assaulted and harassed me, both laid-back people that you wouldn't expect it from. Hey, things happen when you least expect it from the least expected people, right? It's those people that you would least expect something to happen by or from, then they'll do something, right? You just never know, right? Just keep your eyes and ears open and act accordingly to every situation, okay? Let's see here. All right, give me a second here. Let's check out nothing happening on Facebook, nothing happening on the live. Okay. I've been followed for smiling at a stranger. and for ignoring a stranger catcalling me. If we're surrounded by a bunch of other people, I'll tell them to fuck off, which works half the time. The other half, they continue to follow me, but are now calling me a bitch and harassing me in other ways. Usually I can get into a store or something and wait them out. 99.9% of the time, this happens when I go on to lunchtime walks near my downtown office building and only lasts for a few minutes. A few times I've been followed when there aren't many other people around, and that's when it really starts to get terrifying to the point that I'm holding my pepper spray or knife and have my phone ready to dial 911. Run-on sentence, man, but I get it. You're sharing your freak-out story. I don't blame you. I understand. It can be a little scary, right? If you're by yourself walking down an alley or something and somebody just starts following you, even if they're there legitimately, you have to assume the worst to protect yourself. I get that. Even me as a guy would feel that same way. I don't blame you. This has been happening to me since I was a young teenager. I'm 29 now and extremely wary of strange men. So if someone genuinely nice tried to talk to me, I just shut it down immediately because so many times a nice gesture has turned into a creepy, weird, scary behavior. Man, that's a problem. You see, that's what happens. That's what happened to me with this woman I was supposed to meet earlier today, right? There's some unresolved issue deep within her that affected her from feeling completely comfortable being around me. She basically started to give me some resistance, right? I don't want to go on a long hike the first time I meet you. Let's go on a short one and see how it goes. I never said we're going on a long hike, right? This woman, when I was talking with her through texting to finalize our plans for today after talking to her on the phone last night, she basically was saying things and responding to things I didn't even ask her, right? She was assuming that I was trying to put her in an awkward situation when all I was doing was trying to plan the date in the ways we talked about on the phone the night before. So what's that telling me? Some trigger hit her from the past based off of something I was saying, which was totally normal, right? So if a nice guy comes around and he's not giving you any reason and he's not being pushy, right? Like if I approach women in public or wherever I'm at, number one, I keep a distance, okay? Whenever I've talked with people, right? If it's a parking lot or in a supermarket, I will keep a distance. Let's say the woman's face is right here. I'm not going to get up to her like this. I'm going to be like 3 feet apart from her, right? I want her to have space. I don't want her to feel pressure. I want her to feel relaxed, right? And I will lean back. I'm not going to lean forward. I will lean back and hands down and be relaxed. Women can pick up on subtle movements of a man. They can tell if you're cool and calm, or they can tell if you're anxious. If they pick up that you're anxious, that's going to scare them. It's about body language. When you approach people, talk with them, just be cool, be laid back, and give some space, right? All right. Let's see. This has never once happened to me when I was walking with my fiance or a male coworker. I get stopped, catcalled, or followed every day on my 30-minute lunch walk without exception. That's from insecure, immature, mentally and emotionally unstable guys, or guys that are beta males, or socially awkward guys that don't have any luck with women. These are just not real men. These are not real men, and we need to really start helping these men. We need the system to step in and start helping these men in the same ways that the system's been helping women since women became liberated about 55 years ago. Men need more support, okay? Usually it's 2 to 3 guys. Sometimes it's up to 8 guys who do this in a 30-minute period. Definitely these encounters happen more when I'm downtown in a densely crowded area. I get it. All right, I'm going to read a couple more here, folks. 3 more, and then I'm going to go off the air. We are at 2 hours and 30 minutes. Get your questions, comments, and concerns in right now. because, like I said, we're going to go off the air very soon. When I saw the wall of questions he asked, I thought, here we go. This is how it starts. And you're not even consciously aware of the irony. You see, women know when they're about to be put in a situation that they don't want to be in. They're intuitive like that. Most guys are not intuitive like that. I'm trying to help you guys become more intuitive to read the signs. Just like I'm able to read the signs of a woman not really feeling comfortable even hours before a date that we planned from the night before. I was looking forward to this date today, but after what happened, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to, doll myself up and do my beard and shower up and get all dressed and wash my car. And I'm not going to put in all this effort and then go do a hike with this woman for it to go nowhere. Sure, I could have gone out and just, used her for a hike, but I just didn't even feel it was worth it. But in order for me to figure that out, I had to become instinctual and intuitive. And you have to be able to take what someone's saying to you, like a woman's saying to you guys, and interpret it for what it actually means compared to what she's saying, right? All right. And you're not even consciously aware of the irony, but it never read as insinuating she was lying. And I question bursts like that too. I'm glad she answered the question because he, and most of us are interested in her answers. Okay. Is that from experience being killed by men or from knowing people who were killed by men? Where does that fear come from exactly? That's a great question. Really, clearly, I am very much alive. I was discussing my lived experience of, in general, being fearful of unknown men. It comes from personally knowing many women who have been threatened or harmed. It comes from staggering statistics and journal articles and research. I'm going to wrap up the show by saying this here. Did you just hear what this woman said? It's one thing to have personal experiences that are affecting you in this way, or to hear the personal experiences of your friends and it affects you, right? But look at where it also comes from. Let me highlight it right there. It comes from staggering statistics and journal articles and research. The media has certainly and primarily influenced women and men, but primarily women, right? And it's made women more fearful than they already are, and more fearful, which is what I'm trying to say, than necessary, right? This woman stated it perfectly. I'm going to read this one more time before I go off the air. Really, clearly, I am very much alive. I was discussing my lived experience of, in general, being fearful of unknown men. It comes from personally knowing many women who have been threatened or harmed. I can understand that. If you've been personally harmed or your friends have been, that's a personal experience. The last line says it all. It comes from staggering statistics. It comes from staggering statistics and journal articles and research. Wow, let's go back to full screen. You know what, American Dream Mike? I forgot to put your super chat on the screen. Channel donations are $12. I'm sorry, man. Did I even have it on the other screen there? See, my donation tag is not even on. Yeah, that's what happens when you run your own show there. It's one click of a button. Anyway, let's wrap this baby up. All right, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show tonight. Lots of great shows like these are coming soon. Eventually, some pre-recorded content is going to be coming. I know I've been talking about it. I will be doing it. I've been doing these live streams more so because they're a little easier to do. I don't have to upload it. It just gets streamed and uploaded at the same time. but I'm just taking care of a few aspects in my life and personal life this time. And once those are all handled within a week or two or so or less, I'm really going to get on the ball and start creating some videos from outside of the studio with the iPhone 12 Pro Max at 4K 60 frames per second. I've optimized this laptop to be able to render even 4K video at 60 frames per second very fast. So we're ready to rock and roll, folks. I'm really truly here to help as many of you get the best possible grip on your life so that way you can accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires. Folks, listen, you don't have to like me or anything like that, but all I will say is this. If you listen to the principles that I share, the stories I share, and you apply these things over the course of time, it'll change your life. It certainly has changed mine. And that's exactly where I want to wrap this up here, or where I'm going to wrap this up here tonight at 2 hours and 36 minutes. I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you to Sloopy for being here. Thank you to Queen Helen Casey for being here, and anyone else that was watching behind the scenes. I also want to thank you, Holly, Hopeful, and Blessed, for reaching out to me earlier today. I will get with you tomorrow regarding us collaborating like we talked about privately earlier today. And thank you for some other things as well, Holly. So with that being said, folks, Paul Simmons was here too. I forgot about you, Paul, and anyone else I forgot. Thank you for being here. Have yourselves a great night. Queen is laughing. She's ready to get out of here. Have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all next time, more than likely tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Bye.